NutraCast.
Over 25 years ago, on September 29th, 1998, we watched a brainy girl with curly hair drop everything to follow a guy she only kind of knew all the way to college. And so began Felicity. My name is Juliette Littman, and I'm a Felicity superfan. Join me, Amanda Foreman, who you may know better as Megan, the roommate, and Greg Grunberg, who you may also know as Sean Blunberg, as the three of us revisit our favorite moments from the show and talk to the people who helped shape it. Listen to Dear Felicity on Spotify or wherever you get your podcasts.
Dollar bets, dollar bets, dollar bets. What up, everybody? Happy Thursday.
Woo!
We got Z.
Z is in his loungy gear right now. I didn't want to reveal my exact wardrobe, but it's about as sexy as these pics are going to be here.
I'm hearing pajamas.
We'll say pajamas for the eligible people out there. Which is everyone.
Special show for you guys as always, but first, it's Z with the plugs.
Yeah, we are plugging signupexpert.com /dollar bets with a Z. And you can go on there and get these offers. We'll say offers. We're allowed to say offers, right? Offers to join their sports books. If you don't have a sports book that you participate in or you want another one, go there on signupexpert.com /dollar bets with a Z. Sign up there, spread the word. The portal works anywhere on Earth, on planet Earth. And it actually works in Middle Earth if you're an orc and you're listening.
Or an ant.
This is geolocated to Middle Earth.
Yeah. All right. So, should we dive into this?
We're diving. This episode is about, what is it about, O?
We are going to be making our predictions for the college football playoffs.
The first ever 12-team.
A little different this year.
Yeah.
You know, we are moving on to 12 teams, tripling the number of competitors. So to explain, in case you are unfamiliar yet, what the format is going to be, the top 4 conference champions will receive first-round buys. So that could be from the newly formed group of Power 4, or it could be a group of 5, lower-level team.
Yeah.
But whatever it is, the top 4 conference champions will be seeds 1 through 4. They will get buys. Then the next 8 highest-seeded teams will fill out the number 12, with the only caveat being that there has to be at least one group of 5 conference champion.
Ooh, participation trophy. Let's go.
Participation trophy, all right? So then it'll be normal seeding. After that, 5 will play 12, 6 plays 11, 7 plays 10, and 8 plays 9.
So I'm detecting an advantage. I mean, maybe not, but playing the 12 seed and then playing against the weakest conference champion, that was probably going to be a conference that's worse than the conference you came from if you're the 5 seed. Let's go!
Well, let's see if that happens in our picks. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a countdown of our top 12 teams to make the playoffs.
Yes.
We'll just alternate our picks, going all the way up to our number 1, and then we will share our round-by-round predictions.
That's right.
So, starting off the countdown with O's number 12 team, I have, from the Big Ten Conference with its 18 members, the Penn State Nittany Lions.
Ooh, a big power 12 team. Awesome. So you're calling a 9-3 Penn State gets in, basically. Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
That was one of my teams under consideration. Okay. So, from the Sun Belt Conference, the number 12 seed, Texas State. San Marcos.
Yes.
They used to be Texas State San Marcos.
Yes. Here I've got my group of 5 conference champion. I went with the Boise State Smurf Turfs.
I like that. They were on consideration for me. I didn't like their schedule because of Oregon. They play Oregon, and then so if they lose one more game, they're like, I don't know. So that was up there. Memphis I also considered. Because they score a lot of points. So if you just have a pulse on defense, there you go. But they don't, probably. Okay, so with the 11th seed, I'm going with Ole Miss Rebels.
Ooh, Ole Miss. So real quick, since we have already we both revealed our group of fives.
Yeah.
I was looking at some predictions from the internets. A lot of people are trying to pick Liberty. So that's a name to remember as our season rolls along.
Did they lose their coach, or did their coach already go somewhere? It was Hugh Freeze, and now it's... Where'd he go?
I don't know. I must concede I am not up to speed on my Liberty football.
He's not at Vanderbilt, right? That wouldn't make sense. I don't know, whatever. Hugh Freeze was that old Ole Miss coach that had the hookers and stuff.
Right. And then where did he go?
Liberty.
I'm going to look it up real quick.
Yeah, no, it's like... It's one of those southern schools, obviously. Obviously.
He is at Auburn?
Oh, is it Auburn?
He's at Auburn. I did not know.
Was he at Auburn last year? Oh my gosh, we're getting old. Okay. All right, cool. Great research.
Right, moving on.
Crack research as always from... Oh,
Number
okay.
10.
Yeah.
Getting outside of the conferences for a second, I've got Notre Dame.
Oh, okay. Maybe they're on my list, maybe they're not. Number 10 for Z.
Killing me.
The Texas Longhorns. Hook 'em, baby. Tough schedule. They're in with 9. I think they make it a 10, but tough schedule. They got Oklahoma, Michigan, and then some other SEC opponents as well. Obviously, Oklahoma's an SEC opponent now, but they play them every year. Yeah, protect your rivalry.
Moving on to number 9. I am getting into the SEC here with LSU.
Ooh, same Z's. Number 9, LSU for Z.
Ooh, that's our first identical.
Yeah, I like LSU's schedule slightly more than Texas and Ole Miss's.
Okay.
They play Florida. They don't play Florida State. They play USC now, and I think they're gonna whop them.
That's isn't that their opener?
Yeah, that's their opener. It's in Vegas, baby, at Allegiant Darth Vader Stadium.
All right, number 8. I'm going to the ACC with the Clemson Tigers.
Ooh, he's got potentially two SEC teams.
That pretty much means I've got a second ACC team.
Yeah. Oh, interesting. Okay, I do not have that. I have the Alabama team. Alabama football team. AFT. Alabama football team. Roll Tide. Roll Tide semi-rolling downwards into the 8th seed.
You got Bama at 8, huh?
Yeah. Tough schedule, man. You see their schedule in the SEC?
I saw their schedule. It's always a tough schedule in the SEC.
Nah, it's tougher this year. They got Georgia.
All right. Moving to lucky number 7. I've got a new member of the Big Ten, your Oregon Ducks. Quack, quack.
That's not very high. Quack. I think that's pretty low. Number 7, the Notre Dame Fighting Irish.
Okay. So
they got the schedule to get it done. Oh, yeah.
Well.
Yeah, I think they go 11-1, 10-2, and they get in there.
Right.
So they'll probably not be 7th. They'll probably lower or higher based on if they win that 11th game versus that 10th game. But they have the schedule to get there. So, okay, go ahead.
All right, that was 7. Number 6, I'm staying in the Southeast with Georgia.
Okay. Number 6, I got Missouri Tigers, baby. Good schedule, great season last year. Returned a lot of players. Great coach.
Okay.
Don't play Georgia. They don't play Georgia. That's why they're that high. They were higher in my initial rankings, and I realized you can't have they can't have those two teams or teams from the same conference in the top 4. So.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. So number 5, the last team to not get a bye. I've got Texas.
Okay. Well, we both got Texas in there. All right. My fifth. What?
Who's your number 5?
Ohio State.
Ohio State.
Easy schedule.
All right.
Good quarterback. Will
How
Howard.
many SEC teams do you have in your 5 to 12?
I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Because you had Texas, you had
Ole Miss, LSU,
Missouri.
Alabama, Missouri. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
There's no limit,
because I
right?
had one extra Big Ten team with Penn State.
Yeah, I'd
and
say
a second
so.
ACC team.
Ugh.
Okay. All right. So I'm going with a little more disparity. You're just stacking SEC teams.
Well, you seen their schedules, man?
Seeing their schedules.
They're all stacked up to go 10-2 or 9-3 or 11-1. Like, I don't think anyone's going undefeated. Maybe they will. Maybe Missouri or something. But yeah, I think seeing just so many good matchups and compared to like the other conferences this year that I just think they. Plus, I think it's the first year of it. They're not going to put less than 4. So I got 6. I think the ACC is not very good. So okay, go ahead.
Yeah, I basically had to debate myself who I was going to include between LSU, Ole Miss, and Missouri, and I went with LSU.
Okay.
So we shall see. All right, we are on to
the
top 4, the receivers of the first round bye.
Mm-hmm. We have the same one at 4, right?
At number 4, I went with the Big 12, which I don't know how many teams are in it anymore, but I went with Utah.
16.
16 teams in the Big 12.
So that's super high for your ACC team. So I got Miami at 4 because I had to put an ACC team in.
Yeah.
And they had to be no lower than 4th. But they're gonna not. Their ACC is gonna eke their way into this playoff after that Florida State performance.
Yeah. Well, I've got Miami at number. I had to have conference champions.
So you think that is your rationale that the Big 12 is going to be a bloodbath?
I just think the teams there, after losing Texas and Oklahoma, there's just not that many good teams.
Utah's ranked in the top 12 in preseason,
and that's why I have them going into my playoffs.
I'm curious about putting them below Miami, though. Do you like Miami?
I think Miami's just going to get style points for being in a better conference.
They're not in a better conference. I don't think. I mean, you saw that Florida State performance, right? That was their bellwether.
We'll get the next 3 months to find out.
Yeah, I think Miami, that's my only thing is Penn State at 12 makes sense because it's if they get 10, they're definitely in, right? So it's 9, they could still be on the fringes, and then you're like, do we take a 9th SEC team, right? Okay, so you at 3, I got Utah.
Right. So basically, we've just reversed our
Yes, correct. I put them in the proper order, and yes. Did you give any consideration to any other Big 12 teams at the 12 or 11 spot?
Wait, say that again?
When you were looking, did you give any consideration to who are some were there any Big 12 teams for the Big 12 listener out there that were they're dancing around that spot?
Okie State and Kansas were in consideration, but they were probably more in consideration for winning the conference than they were for getting an at-large spot.
Yeah, I mean, I think OK State's there. I'm 50 now, and, talking about not his players shouldn't get paid more and stuff. It's it's going to collapse on them. They always collapse, right? So I think that I like Arizona and Kansas the best of those other ones, but I'm are they really ready to unseat Utah if Utah actually stays healthy? I don't think so.
Yeah.
So it was just I just went with the experience and the coach. And Cameron Rising, come on out for the Rising. He's on year 17. He looks like Dave Grohl, if you know what I mean. Okay. Number two. Let's hear it.
So, for everyone keeping score at home, you know that Z and O are down to 2 teams, and they are the Big Ten and SEC champions.
Yes.
Which order will they go in? Which teams are still remaining? At number 2, I have my predicted SEC champion, Roll Tide, Alabama.
Nice.
Even with the new coach.
Yeah. They got Milroe, man. Milroe is solid, and they replace those receivers
I think
probably.
Takes a step forward. I think he leads Alabama to a conference championship.
Nice,
again.
nice. I got Georgia Bulldogs.
Georgia, you got your SEC team right there.
Yeah, but I do. We'll see how far they go in our predictions.
What
but
did you have Alabama at number 8?
Yeah, at Alabama number 8. I looked at the schedules last night and I was like, oh well, new coach I'll drop a 1 loss and that gets them to probably 10-2, and I'm like, okay, they're still in the playoffs because they're a sexy 10-2 kind of thing, and LSU is a sexy 10-2, and I was like, I went down the list, I was like, okay, all right, this is fine. It's almost like there's going to be splitting hairs, right? But having an Alabama versus LSU matchup by accident is like very sexy. Okay.
All right, so that leaves our number 1 team.
Yep.
Obviously, it's our Big Ten champions. And you already said Ohio State, didn't you?
Yeah, I did.
So that leaves Oregon at your number 1, huh?
Oh, yeah. Oregon's number 1, for sure.
All right. And I said
100%.
Oregon earlier, so I've got Ohio State at 1. What did you have Ohio State at?
I had them at 5th.
5th, okay. And I've got Oregon at 7.
Yeah, I think because they lose like 1 game or something, they get style points over Missouri. No, actually, you know what? This is, it's something we didn't take into effect here. Maybe you did and I did not. Which is, and I think maybe you did with Ohio State, Oregon. I'm thinking you have Ohio State wins both matchups against Oregon in your scenario, right?
Well, they at least win 1. The one that counts.
Yeah, but if they lose 1, they're not going to be the 1 seed probably. Maybe they will. Maybe no undefeated teams. Are we calling it now? Just
Maybe.
Texas State?
Or maybe even if your ACC and Big 12 champs are undefeated, maybe the committee still gives preference to the SEC and Big 10.
True.
With a one-loss champ.
Yeah, I think Oregon hosts Ohio State, I want to say.
Correct.
All right,
They
so
do.
I think they beat them twice. And that knocks Ohio State down to 5. Okay, you know what? My rankings, they're finalized, but I didn't think of the conference
Change it now.
The conference championship rematch. You're talking over me, or I'm talking over you. Conference championship rematches. I did not consider the divisionless football that we're experiencing right now. So it's like, okay. So, I think these are subject to change, but I think our aggregates we'll have to. Are we coming up with a system to dollar bet how close we were? Like on the rankings?
We'll come up with something.
Okay. To be determined. I'm slurring.
So,
okay.
On to the first round of games, which will be hosted at the higher seeded teams university.
Yeah, what's your 12 at 5?
So my 12-5 is Texas hosting Penn State.
Ooh.
And I'm going with the home team Texas there.
Okay, I got a 5 seed Ohio State hosting 12 seed Texas State, and that's a barn burner. And I got Ohio State. Okay.
Moving on to 6 versus 11, I've got Georgia hosting Boise State and Georgia beating Boise State.
Ooh, I got a conference matchup in the SEC. Missouri 6 seed over Ole Miss 11 seed. I got Missouri prevailing in that. Better defense.
Okay. Wait, on the road, you got a road team there.
What?
You said the game is at Ole Miss?
No.
Oh, game is at Missouri.
Yeah.
Missouri's your 6.
Missouri's my 6. That's right.
Okay. And Missouri wins. Gotcha.
Missouri
All
definitely
right.
wins.
7-10. I've got Oregon hosting the Fighting Irish. And I'm going with another home team here. Oregon moves on.
Ooh, okay. I got another home team as well. 7 seed Texas beating Notre Dame.
Okay.
Oh, wait. No, that was a road team Texas. Sorry. Road Texas. When I was putting the numbers in my phone, it was hard to do it from the formats. I apologize. 4 lashings for Z. 4 lashings for Z. The road horns versus the Notre Dame, Fire and Irish, playing at home, losing at home.
All right.
So we got Texas advancing.
8-9, where I have Clemson hosting LSU, but I've got the road team here, LSU, sending Clemson into their offseason.
I have LSU on the road as well, but they're playing Alabama, and I got Alabama and Milroe prevailing in the sexiest 8-9 of any sport of all time. 8-9, right out the gate, ripping it, Alabama against LSU. Alabama prevails.
You scared me for a second. I thought you were about to pick LSU over Alabama, and I was about to lead Corey with a not so fast.
No, I got Alabama.
All right. So to recap, my 4 teams winning from, I guess we'll call that the wild card round, the first round. I've got Texas, Georgia, Oregon, and LSU joining the byes of Ohio State, Alabama, Miami, and Utah. And what do you have?
I got Ohio State, Missouri, Texas, and Alabama joining my byes of Oregon, Georgia, Utah, and Miami.
So I think we have 7 of this. We agree on 7.
Yeah, I got a 10 seed, and you got a 9 seed.
Yeah, I've got LSU, and you had who? Notre Dame, was it?
Texas over Notre Dame, yeah.
No, so wait, what's the other team that you have moving on? Because I had LSU.
Alabama.
No, I also have Alabama in my final 8.
Missouri, man.
Oh, Missouri, that's right.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so on to the quarterfinal round.
Yes.
Let's start with our 4th seeded team. All right, so I've got Utah. And by the way, this round is not at schools, it's at bowl games.
Yeah.
So I've got Utah, Texas in the 4-5 game, and I have Texas knocking out Utah.
Okay. So we're starting the 4-5 game? Or 4 versus 5 or 12? Okay. I got Ohio State beating Miami, probably soundly. So yeah, soundly Ohio State moves on over Miami.
Okay. In my 3-6, I have Miami battling Georgia. But once again, I have the team with the bye getting knocked out. Georgia beats Miami.
Okay. Nice. I would pick that in that scenario as well, soundly. I got 6-seeded Missouri beating 3-seeded Utah.
Okay. All right, so we've both agreed that our byes of Utah and Miami are not doing anything.
Yeah, I mean, I think Missouri-Utah would be a really good game, but Ohio State and Miami, not so much.
Yeah. All right. On to the 2 seed. I had Alabama, and I have them playing my 7 seed Oregon.
Ooh.
This is going to be my 3rd FCC team moving on to the semifinals. I have Alabama over Oregon.
Okay. I got 2nd-seeded Georgia over 10th-seeded Texas. Probably a good game, I imagine.
Real good.
Real good one.
That takes us to my last quarterfinal game. I have Ohio State versus LSU. I couldn't go with 4 SEC teams, but also I would have gone with Ohio State anyway. So Ohio State over LSU.
All right. I got Oregon, the number 1 seed, against 8-seeded Alabama. I got Oregon prevailing in that. That could be low-key the real championship game, the way they're playing at the end of the season kind of thing. That would be awesome to watch. Awesome. This is a great idea. A, us doing this, and B, them coming into 12. The 12 Team 12-pack. Let's go. Crack it open. O and Z on the mic. Sponsored by, well, sort of affiliated by BetZ. Sponsor today is signupexpert.com/$BetZ with a Z. Go there, signupexpert.com/$BetZ with a Z. Go get some action on the line for these futures. These futures are your future, okay? College fund, what's that? I probably shouldn't have said that.
I just had a thought how we could bet this.
What's that?
For our 12 teams, who has the most correct teams
Dollar.
in any order?
Yeah.
And then and then go round by round. Like, how many teams do you have correctly to the quarterfinals, to the semifinals, to the finals, and the champion if you get the champion?
Okay.
So $1 in each round.
Okay, and then we can go through and aggregate the if there's a tiebreaker, and you say we both get 11 teams out or 10, 11, then for a tiebreaker we're like, okay, what were the aggregate positions? Yeah, aggregate positions. Yeah, like like that margin of error. Like we'll figure a formula out if we need to. If there's time.
We will contact our Michigan State statistics teacher.
Yeah.
To figure this out.
Grant. So right. Now we're in the semifinal round.
The semifinals, the final four. My matchups are Ohio State versus Texas and Alabama versus Georgia.
Okay.
Who are your matchups?
Oregon and Ohio State and Missouri and Georgia. So they're like conference.
So you got a Big Ten semifinal and an SEC semifinal.
I do.
Like that.
Yeah.
That's cute.
Yeah, it works out that way.
Cute.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I will start with my, I guess this was technically the 2-3 game, but it's not anymore. But yeah. I have in my Ohio State versus Texas game, I am going with Ohio State.
Oh, he takes Ohio State over the Horns. Very nice. I'm going with the one-seeded game, one-seeded versus the 5-seed. I got Oregon and Ohio State for a third time. Oregon wins. Or most likely for a third time, yeah. If they're the one seed, then obviously a third time.
You're going tic-tac-toe?
Oregon triples Ohio State, and Ryan Day maybe survives. I mean, I think if he made the semifinals, he probably survives, right? Okay.
I have Alabama versus Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
Which a year ago was your SEC championship game.
This year is a rematch, though, in the playoffs.
It could very well be the SEC championship game again this year.
Yeah, it could be a three.
They will meet in the college football semifinal. And roll Tide.
Roll Tide. He's rolling him into the championship game. Rolling him back and from hallowed ground with a new coach. DeBoer, is he going to lose 2 straight championship games? We're about to find out in a moment. And then this one you're going to love. It's the 6-seeded Missouri versus the 2nd-seeded Georgia. I got Missouri, baby. Moving on the Tigers.
Cinderella.
Mizzou.
Cinderella has come to the ball.
I mean, they're ranked like 11th or 10th or something, 8th, 9th.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're pretty good, man.
Yeah.
They got the schedule to get rolling.
The expansion, right?
Yeah, the schedule gets rolling.
To the 14 playoff.
No.
You know who made it one time though?
Michigan State.
You are Michigan State Spartans.
Oh, they scored over there. They didn't score any points, so.
Didn't they get a field goal?
No, they got nothing.
Bama shut us out, huh?
Yeah. Well, we had an injured quarterback the whole time.
You know?
So we might have scored a field goal if Cook was better. His shoulder didn't break on a late hit against Maryland in 2013. We're not upset. Or if they had a 4-team playoff then, or an 8-team or a 12-team, probably would have won the whole thing. That's okay. It's okay. Well, maybe not with a injured quarterback. Although the injured quarterback thing was a couple years later. Never mind. So, all right. Well, we're not upset.
We're not upset. To our final, right?
Final. And presented by signupexpert.com.
If you score correctly, I believe you have Missouri and Oregon.
Yes.
Can I go ahead and predict who I think you have?
Yes.
All right. I'm going to say you have Oregon.
I do have Oregon, yes.
Oregon is your national champion.
Yeah, it's a popular pick, but I mean they got Dylan. They actually upgraded their quarterback, I think, from a talent perspective, from Bo Nix to Dylan Gabriel.
Yeah.
I think Gabriel's better. And look, he was at Oklahoma after being at Central Florida. Oklahoma's fine. They had good weapons. But Oregon has a better system. And you're going to see that when Denver Broncos roll him out there and he just... But Dylan Gabriel's going to get into the promised land. They've never won a title. They have one basketball title, I think 1939, I want to say. And they probably got some track and field. We've yet to stoop to covering Olympic collegiate sports because they're hard to bet on. But we will at some point, I'm sure.
Hard to bet on.
So who do you got, man?
All right, so time to conclude our coverage of our college football playoff predictions.
Yes.
My championship game is my number 1 seed, Ohio State, versus my number 2 seed, Alabama.
Ooh, I know who you're taking.
Who do I take to win it all, Z?
I'm going to say the team that you went on a road trip to watch at playing Alabama, Texas last year. I'd say Alabama. Roll Tide! This is for Kevin.
Alabama as your initial 12-team playoff champion.
This is for Bama Kevin.
Yup.
That was weird. That was an alarm that went off. Was I supposed to wake up at 10:17? Apparently.
That's a good time to wake up.
That's great. That's a very specific time to wake up. So you got Oregon and Alabama as our national champions. So what say you, listener? Email us your national champion and your playoffs to dollarbetshow@gmail.com. Or tweet us at dollarbetshow, baby. Still working on getting that Instagram up and running because I got another show as well that I've been working on. Can I plug that?
You may.
Daddy, can I plug the show? It is Degenerate Nation podcast. We're back and running with a few new episodes. A couple controversial ones probably as well. We went hard on how our political system has failed us a little bit, just a little bit. Whether you're which other side.
Make sure you write in Orrin Bass for president.
Yes.
In November.
Orrin Bass. How do you spell that whole name? Because maybe they don't know.
Right, so that
whole
first
last
name
name
is Oren. That last name is Basse.
He's gonna get a McFlurry if sent to him if he gets more than 2.5 votes.
I'm gonna get double digits. I'm gonna get 10 votes.
Have you been spreading the word? Is it
I just did.
Or is it a shadow campaign? Well, announcing it here is sort of a shadow campaign.
Well, I don't get to have like a party national convention.
Yeah.
Right.
There's a couple people that don't really get that.
I'll probably have to make a YouTube video or two to really legitimize myself.
I think the underground campaign of getting 3 is like a good start. Because you're getting 2. I'm definitely voting for you. Like, let's go. I'm so ready for November whatever. We are so happy. We're the first Tuesday in November. I do know that. That part I know. And for this reason, I am in on Bass for president. And as you should be. And if you like other gambles, you should go to signupexpert.com/dollarbets and get your gamble on, get your grind on, bet till you drop, boo, 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 boo. All right.
Dollar bets.
Dollar bets.
See you next time.
See you next.
College football starts tomorrow.
Oh my gosh! I heard you're going to a game.
I will be in the press box in East Lansing, probably with thunderstorms and game delays. But I will be there.
Look at us moving on up.
Jonathan Smith, new coach, MSU. Maybe making the playoffs this year.
Oh, yeah. Tune in to find out if MSU makes the playoffs with Jonathan, not John L. Smith. Freaking Jonathan Smith, let's go! I'm ready to kick this off. Play that AC/DC or some other outdated music like 3 Doors Down, baby. Let's roll down to the playoffs.
Everyone has heard about the U.S. space program, but what is actually going on at NASA? Get the real story in 4 minutes or less with the NASA Daily Podcast from Electricast. Join astronauts and researchers as they conduct groundbreaking experiments, work on the International Space Station, and reach for the stars. NASA Daily, your cosmic update.
Hi everyone, I'm Geraldine Glass, a leader in the field of music as medicine, and I'm excited to share with you my newest release of healing sound, Pentatonic Visions, with Chris Scholler and Electrocast Records. Immerse yourself in ethereal realms where the harmonies of nature, tribal rhythms, and soundscapes blend with the crystal singing bowls. It's out now, streaming on all platforms.
Electrocast.